Hello everyone. So sorry if you were on before. My internet just went out. So, all right. Hi guys. My name's Malai. I started with Bree, I think about 2 years now, which is mind blowing to me because my life has changed so much since I started with Bree and becoming a virtual assistant and all that fun stuff. So I am here to chat with you guys about how I've gotten here, how I became a virtual assistant. I'm so excited to share you my story. So let's rewind to, gosh, I think it was April or May of 2022. And my husband and I were just, we liked where we live, but we weren't content. And people thought we were nuts because we randomly decided to move to Florida out of the blue. Like, my parents were coming with us, but we didn't give them a choice of like when they wanted to leave or whatever. We kind of just said like, hey, we're putting our house on the market. You either come with us now or you meet us down there later. And so we started the process. We sold our house fairly quickly, moved in with my parents in the meantime. And then September of 2023, we made that huge move from Illinois to Florida, which is night and day change for us. But it was something that we needed as a couple. We've been together for, at that time, I think 12 years total, married 5 or 6 years total. I don't know where we're at on the timeline, but we're high school sweethearts. We've been together. We both grew up in the same small town. So we both agreed we needed to change, and our kiddos were young. They still are young, but young enough to where we don't have to switch schools or anything like that. So one of the big risks about us moving down to Florida was we knew we would have to take a pay cut. And at the time, I was a stay-at-home mom of our son and our daughter. And then right before we moved, we found out we were expecting our third kiddo. But at the time, I was a stay-at-home mom for our two older ones. Loved it, loved being home with them. But there was a little bit of me that was kind of missing something. My degree is in interior design, so I tried doing a few things on my own for an interior design, but nothing was just making sense because my husband's work hours were just crazy busy, like 60+ hour work weeks. So one of the big things about us moving to Florida was we knew we'd have to take a pay cut. My husband's job wouldn't be the job security that we had back up north, which was okay because we were more than ready for a change and a different lifestyle. And we had a talk and before we moved that I would probably have to start working again. But it would be after we have our third kiddo because I'm not going to start a job and then, go on maternity leave and et cetera, et cetera. So we knew that was, something that I needed to do, just a part-time job, and I was okay with it because it, if you're a stay-at-home mom, it's like, kind of gets me out of the house, even if it's just to work for a little bit. So fast forward to February of 2023, we had our third kiddo, and we're loving life down here in Florida. We love it so much. Probably one of the best, boldest moves we've ever done. And I didn't want to go back to work because we had this newborn home with us. And, my husband and I agreed we'll wait until he's 6 months and then I start working again or start finding a job or whatever. And my mindset was like, no, I don't want to leave the house. I don't want to work 20 hours a week was still like, I don't know if I want to do this. And I have been following Bree for so long, back to where Bree, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you were selling athleisure wear and I was following her then. And so I connected with Bree when she had one of her first programs out and we connected. I took her amazing course and it was awesome. I have been following Bree. Bree's been my amazing mentor since then. But so yeah, my son was 4 or 5 months old when I decided to reach out to Bree, see what I can do, because my goal was to continue to be home with the kids and continue to be here. And the kicker was my husband worked from home too. When we moved down here, he got a remote job and it was just, night and day difference. Like, it's just living down here has just been completely night and day. Not saying living up north, it was just wasn't good. it was good. We love it. Our family's still there. But moving down here was just like a huge night and day difference for us. And I did not want to have to leave the house to go work. And so like I said, I reached out to Bree, learned about the academy, and decided to go for it. Decided to invest in myself and go for it. I've always thought about running a business, opening a business. Never had that mindset to do it though, but I was like, I can be a virtual assistant. I can put the work into it. So July of 2023, I took the course. I finished it fairly quickly. And within a month, I was applying for jobs. And within a couple of days of me applying for jobs, I got my first virtual assistant job. And I was like mind blown by it. But the thing is, I followed every single step that Bree has in her course. Like every single step. I made sure I went from the beginning to the end. I didn't skip. I didn't try to fast forward through anything. And I you know, her process of following up after you apply and all this fun stuff, just everything that Bree had to offer, I followed every single thing. And within a couple days of me applying for jobs, I landed my first virtual assistant job. And 2 years later, I still have that client. We are growing his business tremendously. Like, he's one of my favorite long-term clients. And then shortly after, I got another client. And again, I've been with her from the beginning as well. It's been 2 years and I've loved working with her. And then shortly after that, I got another job, and that maxed me out on my, like, I didn't want to work more than 15 hours a week. I was maxed out at that point. So I got this next client. It was a little bit of a larger client. And it did seem a little intimidating at first, but after a month, you kind of get get into the swing of things. And yeah, so a month and a half, 2 months into doing the academy, I booked myself out, and I did it for about a year. And my husband and I were always talking about what can we do to continue to bring more income. Yes, I was working, I was bringing in part-time income. My husband's working remotely, but we weren't still matching what we were making back up north, which was okay. We knew that, but we were starting to see it and feel it a little bit. So I decided that maybe I open an agency, and maybe this is what I do at my end to kind of bring more additional income in. And I talked to Bree about it, and I was just like, you know what, I think this is what we can do. And so I went ahead and filed my LLC and turned it into to Simply Solve. And I think March of 2024, I officially had an agency. I had a wonderful business partner who spent the next year with me building the business, helping me grow, helping herself grow. And we actually landed 6 clients within not even 6 months, like 6 clients, higher paying clients within a few months of running with the agency. And I will tell you, the one thing that we found that worked well, you guys, and I'm telling you now, like, if you are becoming a virtual assistant, if you're going to open an agency, if you're going to open a business, I'm telling you right now, this is the secret sauce to running a business, especially a new business. Network. And I'm not just saying like network online, that works out really well, but be present, be in person. And we found quickly that when I opened the agency, we went out in the public. I live in a very larger known city in Florida, in Central Florida, and we decided to walk downtown and start handing out flyers and just about what we do, what we offer. At that time, we just did pretty much anything, admin, basic social media, whatever they needed help with. So we landed a client just by walking into a business and just having a friendly conversation, not trying to sell them, just having a friendly conversation. And that worked. It worked so well. We're like, wait a second. I'm not saying it's easy, because you got to get out of your head. You gotta go and show them how friendly you can be and how, to carry on a conversation without trying to sell them. but like I said, it worked. It worked so well. So we decided to like, okay, we're going to keep doing this. So a couple weeks later, we did the same thing and landed another client. Then we learned about networking and networking in person. That was a huge game changer for us. We decided to join the Chamber of Commerce of our city, and that introduced me to networking events and groups and meetings and trainings. And I made it a goal, my business partner made it a goal to network once or twice a week. So we would do that. And out of all these meetings, we would constantly be meeting someone new. They would ask what we do, we ask what they do, we just have a friendly conversation. We follow up the next day or even that evening saying, hey, it's nice talking to you. If you ever find yourself in need of help for admin support, your back office, basic social media, etc., let us know. Well, when you follow up in a kind manner and not try to sell it so much, people reply and they'll be like, tell me a little bit more about what you offer. My emails have been so messy, or my QuickBooks has been really bad lately. And we would set up discovery calls. We would do these in person. Now we just like to be out of the house and network and talk to potential clients in person because we were local. But if you're not local, set up a discovery call and send them, a couple bucks to buy themselves a coffee, and just have a genuine conversation. It could be super simple as, ask them all the important questions, but have a conversation, get to know one another. Then you can send them a discovery call questionnaire afterwards for them to follow up on. I don't know. I'm rambling now, so I'm sorry, guys. I'm just telling you, I 2 years ago never thought in a million years 3 years now. 3 years ago, never in a million years did I think I'd be living in Florida. And 2 years ago, never in a million years did I think I'd be a virtual assistant and building a business. I thought I'd be doing something more in my interior design field or whatnot. But this has been such a game changer for me, you guys. If you are thinking about becoming a virtual assistant, thinking about running an agency, thinking about, it doesn't even have to be a virtual assistant career or business. If you're a virtual assistant now, but you have a business idea, run for it. Just do it. Taking Bree's course will help set you up for success, and it will get you to where you need to be. I promise you that. Because I've taken her course, because I became a virtual assistant, because I opened up the agency, I believe more now in myself than I ever did. And now my husband and I have 2 new businesses in line after the summer. So quick backstory, I decided about a month or 2 ago to rebrand my whole business because I'm stepping back as the virtual assistant and becoming more of the CEO, and decided that it was time for me to just be behind the scenes, grow my agency more than it has, and then let it run itself with my amazing virtual assistants. And then my husband and I have 2 other businesses that we want to start and launch by the fall time. So we are setting ourselves up for a goal. One business needs to launch by August and the other one needs to launch by October. And I told my husband, we got to make this goal because it's just so much fun to streamlining one business, and then you have the potential to open up and do multiple businesses. And if it wasn't for Bree's courses and the current course I'm in right now with her, I wouldn't know how to do all this. I wouldn't know how to rebrand my business or how to, start a new one. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here where I'm at today. My husband and I wouldn't be doing these fun jobs together. So if you are thinking about it, if you're contemplating, you're not sure if this is what you need to do, I'm telling you, just take 5 minutes to yourself, write down all the pros. I'm telling you, the pros are going to outweigh the cons by so much, because honestly, there might not be a lot of cons. And follow your gut, follow with what you want to do, follow your dreams, chase your dreams, and you got this. Like, it's going to be so much fun. This adventure is going to be so much fun. You got this. Believe in yourself. Yeah, sorry, I like 100% rambled on, but let me make sure I covered everything now that I'm like rambling on. But you guys, like, I'm telling you, one thing you can take from this, from me rambling on, is just stay true to who you are. Build your business around your beliefs, your expertise, because if you build a business about what you know and your expertise on that, you're gonna go like to the moon. If you're doing something that you don't know how to do, I mean, you can learn new skills and stuff like that, but I thrive with admin work. I thrive with streamlining business operations. So I am thriving in that end. Like, you can advertise yourself as the expert in whatever you know how to do, because then you can build your foundation off of that. And it may seem intimidating at first, but my number one tip is just sit down, 5 minutes, do your pros and cons, and then come up with a bunch of different things that you guys you think you are an expert in, and pick 1 or 2 of those and just run with it. Because you got it. I'm telling you, it's a game changer. So anyways, so anyone that's considering enrolling in Vela, like, please do. I mean, I didn't second guess about it, and I know that's easier said than done, but I basically looked at my husband and said, I'm doing it. So if you have the ability to do that, just do it. I promise you, you won't regret it. You won't. You're gonna learn so much, so much. So I have a specialty. I have some random information I am brain farting you guys, so I'm just gonna put it in here when I post this live video. I'm so sorry, and you guys will see what I have to offer for you. But if you have any questions, feel free to message me. Feel free to find me on IG. Yeah, and let me know. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend and a great week coming up. Thank you.